welcome to a brand new episode here on Britain's Farm. As you can see, we are out in the Massey Ferguson with the seed drill, and we are drilling, hopefully, rice. Yeah, I thought I would pay tribute to, or not pay tribute, but welcome in, that's a better way of putting it, welcome in Farming Sim 25 by planting some rice. So won't that be nice? So yeah, that's the task for today. We've got rice here, and then we're back to the farm, or back to Richard's farm, and we then plant 3 fields of lentils, and then that should be pretty much spring drilling finished then, hopefully, and then we can just crack on with the rolling. And so once we get it rolled, we're in. We just need to do a bit of spraying, and we just need to do a little bit of sort of this and that, and jobs are good. We still need to find somewhere somehow of getting the dairy in. Still not really come up with a solution to that yet, but leave it with me. My brain is on the case. My brain is on the case. Yeah, well, it's on the Massey Ferguson actually, but yeah, we'll sort it. Don't know how yet. I haven't really got the money, to be fair, but we're not going to be getting sort of no real cash flow now between now and harvest. Although having said that, I could do some baling contracts. So I suppose I could do that. But we'll wait and see. So we could do some hay, because I don't think we've got a silage wrapper, but we could do hay because we've obviously got a square baler. So we could do some jobs like that. Just buy a small tedder, and as I say, do some contracts. That would definitely get us the money in for the dairy. I'd also as well like to start massively increasing the land that we currently have as well. As I say, it's a little challenge that we've got to use all Britons and CQ and Ertl, because they were the 3 main toy brands that I bought. I did towards the end. I haven't really stopped, but now Universal Hobbies has come in, and 1 or 2 other toy brands as well has come in, but back in the day it was a mainly Britain's Ertl and CQ. You have to forgive me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today. Yeah, I went to France yesterday. I didn't. I'm in one of those playful moods today. Well, we're doing 24 metre tram lines. So this is a 6 metre drill, so we need to do 12 metres, so we don't need the markers down this time. Ideally I'd like to keep this bit here straight if I can, because that's the bit where I'm hopefully going to start from, because the hope is that I'm going to finish in the bottom corner to my right, over there. That's the hope. It's not easy always, to see your mark on here, because the shadow to the trees are quite off-putting. I was watching yesterday's, so another good channel for you to all go check out if you like your real farming videos, is Ollie Blogs. So I sort of been watching Ollie Blogs on and off for a year, maybe a year and a half now, but about 6-7 months ago I started watching him every day, because at first I don't know, I couldn't get into it, and I couldn't really get into his style of doing YouTube videos, sorry. And then all of a sudden, and it kind of felt like in the beginning he was on the make all the time, donate this, and we'll get a new sprayer, or donate this, and we'll get it, and I sort of thought, yeah, really, like, so you want people to watch you, but you also want them to, buy your farm equipment. It's like, no, earn your farm equipment like every other farmer out there. Do you know what I mean? But actually, one day I sort of didn't really have that much to do. It was sort of, it was. I think it was when I lived with my ex, and I think we'd had a bit of a what can I say? A bit of excitement in the arguing department, as in she argued with me and I listened, because I didn't get a choice. But to be fair, I'm not really an argumentative person, so if someone does kind of start arguing with me, I tend to listen to them and then just walk off. And the reason I do it is for two things. It's for two reasons, right? One, it infuriates the other person that you're arguing with if you listen, agree with them by nodding your head, and then just walk off. And it, like I say, used to really, really get my ex. In the end, it became a weapon. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to end this argument right here, right now. Going, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And then I'd walk off, and then she'd go, wah, 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 and I'd go, oh, you said it all. You said it all. Well done you for being so observant. You said it all. And it stops them dead. There's literally no comeback to that. She's just like, oh, you. And, and as I say, I just, like, but the other reason why I do it, and the most important reason why I do it, is because arguing and raising the blood pressure isn't good for the old TikTok. As in, I don't mean the social media app, I mean my heart. It's not good for that, and it can leave me with quite severe symptoms, for, sometimes if I'm lucky, a few hours, but, it can go on for days, sort of thing. So therefore, if I don't argue and don't get myself excited, then, in theory, the theory behind it is that I won't get, all the symptoms that I then get. So yeah, and as well, the other sort of, I suppose it's not, well, it is a reason, but it's not a reason that I count why I don't do it. The two that I've already highlighted would be the reason why I don't do it. But it doesn't really get anywhere. The thing is, like, and certainly with my ex, if we were to have an argument and say it was something that, I felt I needed to say my bit on, well, I'd say my bit, and then she'd have to come back to be right, and then I'd kind of leave it there, because I just sort of think, well, okay, fair enough, there's no, there is no sort of it's my view, your view sort of thing. It's kind of, yet again, your view and your view only. So then I would go, all right, well, I'm not arguing no more. And then I'd get silence for 3 days. And that's all I used to get. I used to think, Jesus Christ. And like I say, it'd just be complete silence. Like, and I can't do silence. I'm sorry. I would much rather you have a little bit of an argument, both of you say what you need to say, go cool off for an hour, then come back, give each other a kiss and a cuddle, and say, do you know what? In our own ways, we were both right and we were both wrong. We'll leave it at that. Life's too short. But that couldn't be a thing, and it's like, I just couldn't do it. Like, the silence used to try, and that was when because you go, oh, like you're always, going off, and it's like, yeah, it's the silence. To be fair, I like, every part of you I love, and I can put up with absolutely no bother, but I am not putting up with silence. If I've done something wrong, just tell me. Argue with me, fine. Like, shout at me all day long, hit me if you like. I really don't give a monkeys, right? But just not the silence. I can't do it. And because I used to get this, and I think what happens is that, and this is human nature. This is not just any one individual person. This is human nature. A bit like I knew the walking away was kind of like her kryptonite, if you like. She knew that silence was mine, and so therefore if she didn't speak to me for a day, 2 days, 3 days, she knew she was winning, because she knew she was winding me up and really getting to me. But then I'd go off, whether it be sort of, I'd go to mum's or whatever, and mum was like 2 hours away, and sort of, or say, oh, that's it, I'm leaving or whatever, but she used to think that it was because I didn't want to stay and fight. Well, it wasn't that at all, it was because, I just don't deal with silence. I can't deal with silence, and one day you'll know why I can't deal with silence. But I don't feel that me and you have got into that stage of our relationship yet. But actually, on that, I've come up with a bit of an idea. I don't know whether people are going to like it or whether they like the idea or whatever, but I've come up with a bit of an idea. I was thinking, I was in the car the other day, right? And I was going to one of my, so every sort of couple of weeks, I have to go and have my fingers stabbed, to make sure that my blood's not clotting too quickly, because my blood has a tendency to clot sort of in my heart and that, and obviously that's not good. So I'm on warfarin, or rat poison, and it genuinely is what we use for rat poison. And that's what it is. It's essentially the rat poison that you saw. I don't know about now, but in the olden days, it essentially was warfarin. Because what people used to do was, as I say, we do it at home, and we used to do it on the farm as well. Was, you'd get rat poison. Well, you'd get warfarin. You'd put it in a tray. You'd leave it where you knew the rats were. The rats would come along and eat the poison, and of course, or eat the warfarin. And what used to happen was, obviously because they're on a much smaller scale to me, it used to make their blood run out of everything. But rats in the area have now got wise to the fact that should they eat rat poison, all they need to do is quickly get themselves to some maize and sweet corn, eat loads of sort of sweet corn or maize, or sort of whatever. I mean, in this country it's sweet corn, but I think in America it's maize. I don't know, I might be wrong on that, so don't sort of all be sat there now laughing at me, which I know you're all doing. But yeah, so they go and eat loads of that, and it counteracts the rat poison, and they live. Because I'm on warfarin, so therefore, if I eat sweet corn or corn on the cob or whatever, it thickens my blood up. So it basically cancels out the effect of the warfarin. So any plant that's got vitamin K in it will do that, and sweet corn is absolutely full of it. Cranberry will enhance the performance of the warfarin. So if I was to eat or drink cranberries, I would literally just start bleeding from everywhere. Just honestly, it's not good. I did it once. I used to have cranberry at Christmas on my turkey, and the first year that I was on warfarin, I didn't know that you couldn't eat cranberries, because why would health people tell you, oh, by the way, don't eat these foods? And of course I I put loads of cranberry on my turkey, and was probably drinking cranberry juice that Christmas. And yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night to being very wet on my sort of chest area. Turned the light on, looked in the bathroom mirror, and my eyes were bleeding, my ears were bleeding, my nose was bleeding. It was like, jeez. Who the hell did I fall out with overnight? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, don't take cranberry with it. But alternatively, don't have anything that's got vitamin K in it either. So basically, it's a diet of chips, which for someone who loves veg, it's a bit of a problem. I'll be honest. But anyway, that wasn't nothing to do with what I was going to tell you. I just thought I'd tell you that because why not? Yeah, so I was in the car going to the appointment, and while I was in the car, I was kind of, because here we go. So now you're going to find out some stuff, right? I like noise, because as I've already said, I don't do silence. I like noise, and if there's no noise, I like to talk to myself, because that obviously generates noise. So I'm in the car, I haven't got the radio on, and it's a bit silent for my liking. So I just thought, you know what, talk to myself. So I just randomly started, chatting about, sort of anything and everything, farming, life, the universe, everything. So by the time this goes out this week, I will have either depending on, because this might go out on Tuesday, and if it does go out on the Tuesday, well, today, as you're listening to this, I will be in London at St Bart's. I've got a heart appointment, and I'm hoping nothing's wrong, and I'm hoping that I won't get kept in. I'm a bit concerned that my markers are not marking. It's a bit of a problem when you're trying to keep it straight. Yeah, so I'll be in St Bart's. It's just an outpatient appointment at the moment, but as I say, hopefully there won't be anything wrong and I'll be released straight away. But if at some point the video you don't get a video for a day or two, and I'm not saying that will happen, but if it does at some point happen, that's what's happened, is that they've obviously kept me in. As good as I am and as committed to YouTube as I am, I can't record if I'm in hospital. Not unless they let me take my PC and everything else that I need, but otherwise, as I say, it's a virtual impossibility. But yeah, so I'm sort of talking about that to myself and what have you, about YouTube and talking out loud. And when I talk out loud, that's when I either solve problems or I get ideas. So when I was sort of writing every day and what have you, I would. Is this tractor on a slope? Because I can't seem to get directly behind it to keep it in a bloody straight line. So yeah, I would sort of be chatting about, whatever, maybe something I've read in the newspaper or whatever, and then, ideas would come, and that's essentially what happened. See, look, it seems to be twisted again. I think it must be the slope that I'm on. And that's what happened, as I say, Tuesday, I went to the GP, went to my appointment, and I'm not there long, I'm there sort of 5-10 minutes. They literally just stab some fingers, we have a bit of a chat, and jobs are good and sort of thing. And but while I was in the car sort of chatting away to myself, I came up with what I think is a really good idea. Now, whether you think it's a really good idea or not, I don't know. And I tend to find that if I come up with an idea, I'm a little bit biased towards Miss Saga. That's brilliant. I don't know why no one else has thought of that. Well, the truth of the matter is, other people have thought of it, but I get a lot of messages. Well, not a lot of messages, but I get, you know, people sort of commenting in every now and again. I do love the chatty videos, and I don't know if you've noticed, but this one's going to be a chatty video. But they love the chatty videos, and I kind of thought, well, I could start another channel, and I could do a channel dedicated to chatty videos. So we could chat for like, I don't know, 45-50 minutes, say, about, you know, life, me, whatever. It doesn't matter, like, you know. And I think one of the reasons why people do like the chatty videos is that, yeah, I do talk about, you know, sort of previous farming experiences and when I worked on the farm and what have you. But I think as well, if people are similar to me, you quite like the fact that you get to know a little bit about me and a little bit about what, you know, makes me as a human being and a person tick. You know, I think, you know, I quite like listening to people sort of, you know, sort of telling me about themselves. Like the other day, you know, when I was in the doctor's, you know, and I'm sat there, and this old lady, bearing in mind I'm the only person at this point sat in the doctor's waiting room. Amazing, I know, right? I'm the only person sat in there, so there's 20 or 30 chairs to choose from, right? She decides to sit right next to me, right, like, you know, do you know what I mean? And I thought, why? Like, literally, you could sit anywhere in here, and you're choosing to sit next to me. If you start coughing, I'm moving. It's just like, you know, they were the rules. Anyway, she didn't, right? So we're sat there, so she goes, lovely day, isn't it, dear? So I said, yeah. So she said, yeah, lovely day. She said, yeah, I lost my Brian 2 weeks ago. And I was a bit slow, because I said, where? And she went, what? I said, where did you lose him? She went, no, he's dead. So I said, oh, oh, I am sorry. I said, I don't know why. I said, I was convinced you was talking about a dog or a cat. She went, no, me husband. And I said, yeah. I said, yes. I said, yeah, I get that now. I said, but I do apologise. Oh, actually, do you know what? Rather than that, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm going to do this. And you wouldn't do this in real life if you had GPS. But I used to do this in real life. Don't no one tell my boss, because he would have gone nuts. But do this. So you'd have to ride on the tram lines, because you weren't allowed to drive in the middle. So you'd have to find tram lines if you were going to ride through the field like this. And then what you do is you go this end, because then what will happen is that should work out well the other end. Because what we can do is keep the marker down, turn the seeder off, so that it doesn't obviously drill over what we've already done, and it will give us our line to come back with. So we'll get it lined up. It won't be, because that's how you can put a bend in it when you can't see, you know, your mark or the other end of the field. So yeah. So anyway, she's sort of chatting away, and to be fair, I know she was, you know, she was clearly upset, which, you know, is totally understandable. And but she, you know, she was just sort of quite happy. You know, I was a complete stranger, and she was just literally telling me her life, like literally telling me her life. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sort of, I've gone from annoyed to kind of, oh, actually, this is really, you know, this is really nice, you know. And I kind of sort of thought, it helps me to understand you now as a person, and like, and I quite liked it. And I think sometimes, like with my chatty videos, that's kind of what, you know, you guys hopefully like, is the fact that I do, you know, tell you a little bit about myself, and you know, sort of if I think it's interesting enough, or if I think that, like I say, it's interesting enough, or people are gonna sort of dig it, I'll talk about it. And yeah, that's what she was doing, and I sort of went away from that, and I sort of thought, I wouldn't necessarily walk up to anyone in the street, or or off the street in this case, sort of in a doctor's surgery, and just start randomly talking about myself. I wouldn't be so self-important, if you like. But I don't know. I really felt touched that this lady felt that she could come and just sort of, and I realised it wouldn't have mattered who it was. I don't think, but it's this lady chose me because I was literally the only one in there, and at the end of it I said to her, I said, do you live in Holbeach, do you? And she said yeah. So I said, have you heard of the coffee shop? She went, oh, on the high street, yeah. She said, me and my Brian used to go there on a Saturday. So I said, well, I tell you what. She said, what? I said, Saturday. She said, yeah. I said, I'll meet you in the coffee shop. You pick a time. So she said, oh, me and my Brian used to go in there at 11. So I said, 11 o'clock it is then. I said, we'll go in there. I said, and I'll buy you a cup of coffee. I said, and then I said, like, at least that way you've, sort of, because I kind of got the vibe that she was on her own, she was lonely, and what have you. So that's what I'm going to do, or that's what I did Saturday just gone, because you're watching it after the Saturday, but so the Saturday just gone. I met this lady. I don't know the lady's name, and I said, like, I'll buy you a coffee and a cake or whatever, and I just felt that that was important to her, and like I say, it doesn't make no difference to my life, and I just sort of kind of felt it was the least I could do. Yeah, this was a man and woman, she was telling me about their working life, about their life, about everything, and I thought, these two people, if and I have no reason to suspect she wasn't being honest, but I thought these two people have given so much to so many people through some of the work they've been doing in their lives. I thought it's about time, or the least I can do is repay a little bit of that, and so I'm quite looking forward. Well, it's already happened, so but I was quite looking forward to it, and to be fair, it was really nice, and she had quite a few tears, and that it was the first time she'd been in, since, and and because I bought a coffee and I bought her a cake, and it was the cake that Brian used to always buy her, but I think in a way she kind of felt quite supported by that, like, I don't know. But anyway, so back to my idea. Jesus, it's taken a long time to get this idea out, innit? So I was thinking, when I was driving home, because I was talking to myself again, I was talking to myself about the old lady, thinking, I think I did the right thing, how about I do a ride along? So I go for a drive, I set the old camera up in the car, whether it's sort of looking out the window at what I'm sort of seeing as I'm driving along, and I'm just sort of chatting, and you can't really see me, but you can hear me obviously because I'm chatting away, or I could have the camera on me if, like, that's what people would prefer. Honestly, Jesus, choose the bloody windscreen. Choose the windscreen. Honestly, save yourselves. But yeah, so I was sort of kind of thinking, well, we I could do a ride along video, so for 45 minutes I just drive around where the area that I live in, and then just sort of talk about life. I could show you, like, where the farms that I used to work on. One of them I am allowed to get to from the road, but the other one I have to go down a private road, so I would actually have to ask them first, because there'll be a gateman at the other end and I'll need somewhere to turn around. So we'll have to actually ask them first, but show you the sort of two farms that I worked on and their yards, and sort of show you where the infamous dig concrete with a pickaxe and a shovel happened, and different things. I mean, it's a shame that I've kind of come up with the idea after harvest, because harvest around here is pretty much done now. You know, there's only a few crops sort of left to do, really. I was out, as I say, Tuesday, and had a bit of a ride round, and I didn't see many standing crops left. So there, you know, or many standing fields. You know, so the harvest is pretty much done round here. I think there's some farms have got some beans left. A couple of farms have still got a little bit of linseed standing, a little bit of spring barley. But that's about it. And I'm talking like odd fields, not fields of it, odd fields. But yeah, so I thought, you know, I could sort of drive around, show people, you know, sort of, you know, around the area that I live, you know, show where I worked, the farms that I worked on, you know, and just sort of generally chat for, you know, like I say, 40, 45, you know, 50 minutes or an hour or whatever, make them an hour video of a, you know, sort of a ride along or whatever feels right, you know. But I just would like, you know, would if I would, because I don't necessarily think I should put it on this channel. But you know, you guys kind of let me know. You know, would you like to hear it on this channel? So just one day a week, rather than doing a farm sim video, we just do a chatty. You know, we do one chatty video a week. But it's not me doing farm sim. It's me sort of, you know, driving around. Or would you rather that I still do, you know, the odd chatty video while playing farm sim, and then I have another channel where you can sort of go off and hear more about me, my life, the area that I worked, you know, and sort of that sort of stuff. I don't know, like, you know, it's you let me know. But that was my idea, and I think I am going to go through with it, but I kind of want to know at the moment what you guys kind of think, because you are the people that watch me, and obviously any other subscribers that may bring in are obviously not watching me yet, so I can't really ask their opinion. But there's a few people that do message me on a sort of regular basis, and I really value their opinion and their input. And you know, and I know I read it, but I sort of, you know, I listen very carefully at what they're saying, and try and, you know, sort of go from there, sort of thing. So yeah, that would be, you know, really, really good. I don't know as if we're going to get this field finished on this seed tank. I was rather hoping we were, but this field is well, it's not as big as what I thought, because I've farmed it a few years now. But yeah, it's I think I might get to the other end. I might not get back. We haven't done too bad in this field. It is fairly straight. I have missed little odd bits and pieces, but I don't mind sort of missing odd bits and pieces, because it's kind of realistic. It's just where the seed didn't grow, you know, because I'm farming sim, every seed grows. Although, having said that, so at the day of recording this, which is Thursday, about the 23rd or so of no, so probably 21st. I don't know the date, but it's Thursday of last week, because this will go out, as I say, next week as I'm recording it. But it's the Thursday of last week. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. No, it's gone. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. We're just going to make it. Yeah. I can't even remember what we were talking about. Oh dear. Old age is creeping upon me. Now, can I get down the road this wide? Because I don't really want to unfold it and take it all off. But we need some seed. I don't actually know where there is any seed, to be fair. Do you know what? That is genuinely worrying, that I literally cannot remember what I was going to say or what we were talking about. Oh well. No, I'm sitting here racking my brains, and I can't remember. Never mind. Anyway, we'll get back to the farm, and then we'll leave the video there. As I say, I'll get that a little bit done, and then and then when you come back next time, I'll be drilling these fields up here, and then, as I say, we'll have another video as well where we're rolling. I always get this wrong. Yeah, it's the next one. I don't know as if I'm going to get through the farm entrance with my drill out like this, and I'm very lucky that I haven't met any traffic yet. But yeah, so we'll, as I say, we'll get to the farm, and then that's where I'll leave the video. Well, we might, but there is a fence down here. I don't know if there's a fence both sides. Ooh, should we just move over a little bit, James? We don't have to be too dramatic. Okay, this might be the bit where I can't get through. Oh, I might do. Oh, yeah, there's loads of room. Oh, there's loads of room. Look at that, look. Hey? There we go. Alright. As I say, I'm going to leave the video here, and then I'll fill up, and then, pardon me, and then I will go and finish that bit of field, and then I've got that field in front of me there to drill, and then I've got this field here to drill, if my keyboard will actually turn me, and then the field beyond those trees, so where those trees are, just sort of there, other side of that is another field. It kind of sides on to our sugar beet field. So you got, after this field, I've got 3 fields left to do. I don't think I've got any drilling left to do at our farm. Yeah, so I don't think I've got any drilling left to do there. So as I say, once we get this done and then get it all rolled, I think we rolled that field. I think that was a Chatty video, wasn't it? Yeah, so as I say, get these rolled. We got the fields down ours, I think, to still roll. And then, as I say, we'll be done, and we might do a couple of hay contracts just to bring in a little bit of money, because I do want the dairy put in, and I also want to buy the pig farm as well. So that would be sort of quite cool to buy that as well. Yeah. So anyway, if you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, share the channel, share whatever you want about me and this channel, any way you want. If it helps to get views, if it helps to get subscribers, and helps to build the community that hopefully eventually we will get to build, then all is good. And I really as I say, I always say, I really appreciate it, and I do really appreciate it. It means a lot, and as I say, last week when I hit 500 subscribers, for 2 or 3 days I was on such a massive buzz, and was fortunate enough, a day after I hit the so on the Monday, because I think I hit it on the Sunday, I think it was, and on the Monday I was out in the butcher's just down the road, and sort of getting some rolls and some meat and what have you, and one of my naysayers was in there, and I said to him, I said, have you had a look at my YouTube channel? And he went, nah. He said, like, I've told you. He said, load of old rubbish. He said, like, and you. He said, like, people don't care about you, mate. They don't want to hear, your situation. So I said, well, 502 people disagree with you. And he went, what do you mean 502 people disagree with me? And I said, well, you told me that I wouldn't get a single subscriber. I said, and this weekend I hit 502. I said, at the moment I'm 502 in front of you. And he was like, yeah. He goes, but he said, like, I don't know why you just bother. And I said, you know what? I said, to be fair, I said, the more you sort of try and pull me down, the more you sort of negativity me, the harder I try. I said, so you keep going because you're driving my determination to hit that 1,000, to actually get a video that might, get, sort of 1,000 views on, the day that I release it. I said, like, they are all targets that I am trying to hit, and you know, I am going to, get there. And I've literally just remembered what it was that I was going to say. It's literally just come back to me while I was talking about that, because I was thinking, yeah, just think when 25 comes, the views might start going up there, blah blah blah. And I was like, that's what I was going to say. So what I was going to say was really, really quickly, and I do mean really quickly. I was going to say, when I miss bits, I leave it to make it look like the seed hasn't grown or whatever, because Giants, the way it runs at the moment, as long as you literally plant every inch of that field, every seed will grow. There's, rain won't affect it, soil conditions won't affect it, weather, across the board won't affect, nothing will affect it. Well, after what we saw yesterday, wow, I think things may start affecting stuff. That tornado, don't get me wrong, I'm saying it looked incredible, and it was incredible because it was on a computer game. In real life, they must be the most terrifying thing ever. Like, yeah, so I'm not, but on a computer game where no one's got hurt, do you know what I mean? Like, it was amazing. Same as it was in Twister, the film, it's not real, I know it happens in real life, and so I'm not commenting on that because I can't even begin to imagine the devastation that, and the fear whilst before, during, and sort of afterwards a little bit, when you kind of like, well, has it gone? Or do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't begin to imagine how people must feel. But just in the safe environment of a computer game, wow, did it look incredible. It looked amazing. And if that does do damage, to your farm and barns and things, and you have to repair them, that would be an absolute sensation. Hats off to Giants for that one. I a lot of the criticism for Giants over the years about, it's, a sandbox game, it's so easy, it's so, which it is. I quite like it because, you sort of kind of see these people that, sort of write message, rain doesn't affect anything, you can still do everything apart from combining, but, you can still drive through the fields, you can still do, and I think, yeah, because like, if it was to rain now on the game, and say it was to rain now until midnight, that means I've got to load the game in, right? If we were to play it properly, we've got to load the game in, and I've got to have the game loaded for probably 4, 5, 6 hours while the ground dries out. I don't want that. I want it to be as realistic as possible, but I don't want it to start detracting away from it's a computer game, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a bit like, if you're playing a football manager game, that you have to sort of load the game in at 12, you've got to wait 3 hours to kick off, you've got to sort of go through all of that. You don't want that. You just want to load the game in and just start playing games, like, and that's, I'm not making the point very good here, but I know what I sort of mean. But I don't want an ultra realistic game. But if stuff like that was to happen, I think it would be a way of stopping, because, like, as I say, I've got like a few sort of saves that I've been playing myself, and I've been playing them on a couple of maps since Farming Sim 22 came out, since the first maps for Farming Sim 22 came out, and one of them's on Carmlan's Farm. I think I've now got like sort of 15-20 million in the bank, and I sort of think, oh, there's nothing left for me to spend my money on, so I'm literally replacing tractors after like 2 years, just so as I spend money. You know, because otherwise, if I sort of take it as the game is, then I don't really have to spend any more money. You know, I think all but one field I own all of the fields. I own all of the different things on the map that you can own. You know, I own the sort of bits where you can build your own farm, and I've sort of built, you know, an industry on one plot and some sheds and grain stores and stuff on another plot, and it, although I keep playing it because I do enjoy it, you know, if weather events came along and they damaged sheds and suddenly it stopped me from building so much money sort of so quick. I mean, it's a bit like our Carmlands Farm one. You know, we're in year 7, about to come to year 8. And to be fair, we've been nothing but buying and buying and buying, so I haven't been able to keep very much money. But there's going to come a point where I'm earning all the money. I've got all, you know, I've got as much land as I want. I've got all of the factories, and I'm just continually earning money, and there'll be nothing left to spend money on. Um, you know, so if you do start getting weather damage and you know, building damage, and you have to replace sheds and you have to replace this, that, and everything, you know, and silos that have got crop in, that if the tornado damages the silo and wipes out your crop, I think all that's for the good. Like I genuinely do like that. That's a game and scenarios that I can quite easily buy into. You know, I don't want the rain to mean that I've got to sit down for 3 hours and do nothing. But I don't mind, you know, sort of tornadoes, or if it's a European map like hurricanes and stuff, coming along and blowing down some old barns, or you know, and barns and sheds should age as they do in real life, and obviously the older they get, the weaker they get, and that's when it's likely to blow over or be destroyed. But you know, there you go, food for thought, just my thoughts. As I said, I'm going to leave the video here. I said that about a year ago, and I am now going to do what I said. So like I say, if you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for joining me on this video. I've really enjoyed having your company, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye for now.